Hello. So we are back for another session. So we'll wait for a few more minutes. That's nice, Sandy. So sweet of you. One of my best gift I got when I got my certified with Zentangle was Sandy, a very good friend, dear friend. She's there in the session today. She does amazing work. Her enthusiasm is like mind-boggling. She's got certified for 4 times. So I think there are a few more people have not yet joined in my regular. So just let them join in and then we could start the session. Hi Neha. So good, we let people join in. We will start the session. Let's not wait. I think I've given her 5 minutes, so let's let them join in. By then we can just do a quick intro of what we plan to do. We continue to do the same string like what we did last time, so we will be using the same string out here. So if you're ready with your string is good, or we'll create the string in the session. And just want to quickly share something because I'm going to share the tool. So before I share the tool, I just want to share this work of mine. It looks colorful. but if you look at it, it is kind of dulled up. And this is not a work which was done with the Sakura pen. And this work was done sometime in, if I remember, I've written it, I noted down, these are the something which you write it down. So if you didn't know, I've written on the date. This is 2019, sometime in July 2019. And you could see the way the work is. So it's an experiment which I did with some kind of a new pen, which is a branded pen only. But if you can see, it kind of dulled up. That's what we mean, that a Sakura product, the archival period of Sakura product is really good. So if I'm going to say this is going to be a 2 years, okay, and I'm going to show you a work which I started with my first session of my Instagram last year, and you just see the work. And they're bright, right? And a little later, see if you see it, it's again a brown. And this is sometime in, I did it in May. So you could see that that's what we strongly recommend when you really want to do your work and you really want to archive your work. Sakura product is the best because we have tested it and trial and error, and now I'm personally showing it across to you also, so that I thought I will share this, which really helps. I'm not going to name the product which I had used, so that's not right. So I'm just telling you the comparison, that Sakura, how good is the Sakura. And one thing I just want to tell before, I've been struggling, I think my phone has auto focus, so I'm trying to struggle out to remove it during my live session or my paid Zoom sessions. I'm not been able to, so you will have a blurred for some time and then it will get kind of settled out. So now it's settled, right? So that problem exists for me. I figured out what was the issue. It was not my network issue, it's my autofocus with my mobile. I'm trying to remove it, I'm not. So if someone knows, can be. So good. So we're going to breathe, we're not going to bother something, no mistakes. We're going to embrace the no mistakes, which is the very good philosophy of Zentangle, and we're going to enjoy the session. So the tool what I'm going to use is a Zentangle tile, which is a 3.5 inch tile. And if you do not have this tile at this particular moment, that's fine. You can use any of the art paper or a normal paper, good enough for you to pen. And I'm going to use a Sakura PN pen, black. I'm using a plastic nib pen, which is a nib which is easier for people to write in, who find it a little difficult to write. So it's very easy. You can get fine line, you can get a little broader line. So, and I'm going to use my Zentangle graphite pencil and my stub. So the graphite pencil, if you don't have a Zentangle, you can use a normal graphite pencil, a 2B or a 3B. 2B would good too. And this is a stub. If you're not having a stub, you can use a tortillon, or you can even use a earbud. But the quality of your stub or the earbud depends on what quality of paper you're using also. That also is very important. So we're going to just use these 4 to create our work today. And this is a small note on my copyright to tell I'm the Certified Zentangle Teacher. I'm certified to teach Zentangle sessions, and this session is a copyright owned by me. Any use of it commercially or non-commercially is not allowed. You can create, share your happiness with others. That's what it is, right? So let's start the session. So we will be using the same string. So before we create it, so I will just do a demo of, I'll just do the demo of what patterns we are going to use. We're going to use 2 patterns today. I wanted to do fragments this month, but then I'm so used to playing with fragments, so I ended up looking out for 2 new patterns. So this is a pattern called Remo, right? And this is by a person by name Annie Marks. She's from Australia. So the Remo pattern, how it works is that I felt this was more easier to do it So what I did was, it's a grid. You can do it as a border, you can do it as a center area, or whatever you can do it. So I'm just going to do, what I felt was easier was drawing up and down, the usual, what I give you the idea of a mountain, what we used to draw as a kid. So I felt this was more easier to draw than a free flow. So this is going to be my reference point. So I've drawn it in pencil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rice pearl which is going to go up and down. Just the rice pearl which is just going to go up and down. I have not used this pattern at all. This is my first time, and I had some other plans. Till morning I had some plan to work on, but I was not happy with what I had a plan, and 11:45 I figured out this pattern and I tried and I liked it, and I'm here because I tried couple of, on my swatch card I tried this fragment, I tried another fragment. I was not kind of thing. So here we go. So then we do a small arc out here, and a small arc out here, and then a small, which is an aura to this. Now the reason I did this, now if you had done this way, you will get a different pattern. So I'm just trying to show you this. And then what we do is ink this particular thing, ink this small, it's like your sun setting or sun rising between the mountains. That's what we've drawn out here, and just ink this up. Right, and then what we draw, we just draw lines, and this was so peaceful, believe it or not. This is like just the lines, just lines, closer, further, how comfortable you are, you can do it. That's it. So you continue doing it. Going to be a little faster so that my strokes are a little faster now, since I'm just going to demonstrate it. Right? So this is the pattern. So now it's going to be this way. One more is going to come here, so you will have another arc out here. So this gets filled. That's how you fill it in your corner and do the lines. So it's going to be up, sorry, down, up, down, up, down. So this is what the pattern is. Now you can play around more, right? You can explore more. You can leave this, and then you can do something else out here. You can just do an aura, just keep doing an aura, this way aura. You can do a lot of, let your imagination, creativity go in, so you can do those things. This, I've done it this way. You can the reason I drew this in pencil, because this is going to be in pen. If I put that pen, the line mark would have been there. So, and this is what we're going to, just look at that, just a small graphite here and there. It's going to look right, and just go around, do a graphite around that place, and just pull it up, pull your graphite, right? So we're going to just use this as the fragment which we're going to use it out here. We'll be using it here, And we're going to use the other one is called, you're good with this, right? We're good with this pattern, right? Hi Helly. So we're good with this pattern, so we go for the second pattern, which is called as Strymons, and this is by a person by name Emily Perkins. She is also a certified Zentangle teacher, right? This is, I love this pattern. I don't know, I just got to see it. This reminded me of another pattern which we have played around. It's kind of an illusion, kind of a, I would say, more of it. So I'm just going to do as a grid. I've taught you the trick to do the grid, so I'm not going to use the space, I'm just going to use this. So what we're going to do is, it's going to be a pattern. This is again kind of a sync, so I took up two patterns which is like goes well, and this has also got the same rice pearl and the lines. So here the difference is going to be like this. We're going to draw same thing, right? And we're going to do I'm sorry, oops, that was an oops. There was an oops moment out there. It's okay, we are doing this one, that's fine. And just one thing that I realized, that when you're doing this pattern, if you do with her a nice broader, not a thin one like this, a broader one, they look nice. Now what you will do is, you will ink all the alternates. So this time's session we're going to do a lot of inking. So this is going to be inked, this is going to be inked, okay, and we're going to leave this, and we're going to do the inking on the alternate. And we're going to ink the alternate. Just ink it up. While I'm in a hurry, your strokes when you're inking it up, do it as strokes of circular. Just see the strokes. Just do it in circular. You will not get those striped, and the inking will be good. Just going to focus on this particular portion, and can you see the difference between this inking and this inking, right? So just that's why I use a little broader tip. Which is what I'll also end up when I'm going to ink it up. So we're going to ink all these places, all the alternate places, right? And what you can do is, you can ink this, you can just leave it, or you can just do an aura. I like the way she had done aura on this, the second one. So we will do the aura on these. So this is inked, so this is going to be an aura. So this is going to be an aura. Right? So we're going to do something like this. This is what it is. So when you do it, they look really pretty, right? So we draw a grid, right? Now the grid, we are going to again do a rice pearl, up down, up down, up down, and the alternate of the outer side of the rice pearl, we're going to ink it up. So, and the one what is between this, we're just going to aura the rice pearl. It's going to be that simple. So can we get into the tile? Right? So quick, there are quite a few people have joined in now. So you're going to breathe, no mistakes, enjoy, and we're going to create our, so this was our tools, what I'm going to use: my Sakura pen, my graphite pencil, and my stub. And I showed something to say that why do we choose that Sakura, is that this was a work which was done sometime in 2019 July, and you could see the kind of the work that it is dull, it's not bright, it's not as bright, but if you can see it, it's kind of faded up kind, it has got that dullness look in it, and because these was not used by the Sakura products. So this is, I was experimenting with one of the products, and there it is, this was what it is. So now I can tell that I have an example to show why do we recommend Sakura at my own end, because I've seen it personally to showcase it with a different product. So we're going to go by the Zentangle of no mistake. We're going to embrace it. So we're going to breathe, enjoy. So before we start our tile, just let's take a quick calming session of ours. So let's take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale it out. Take another nice deep breath. Exhale it out. Take another nice deep breath. Exhale it out. When you're taking your breath, take all good thoughts and everything, and when you're exhaling it out, take out all what is there which is bothering you or anything which you don't want, just let it out. So let's take a nice deep breath and release it. Take another nice deep breath and release it. Take another nice deep breath and release it. Just calm yourself and just close your eyes and give gratitude at this particular hour. Whom do you want to give a gratitude? Just give a gratitude to them. And let's start the session. So I go by keeping my pencil, my earlier work, last week's session, I'm keeping it here, and I'm marking the points out here. I'm moving it out here. I'm just rotating the tile. Right. We're doing this because if you are going to continue making 4 tiles together, then you would need to. If not, you can just keep a corner of the tile which I've told. On the corner of one corner, you can just keep your tile. How much or whatever distance you want to keep it in, and you can draw it. And go to the other side, and I've kept it for measurement, but you can go ahead and do it off, or you can just do this. If you're doing only one tile, you can continue to do this. So this, when you do it, is because our Zentangle tiles are not sharp corners. So what you will have to do is you'll have to just edge it up. Or you could do the one what I'm trying to do now. I'll demonstrate what we do. And believe it, I use hardly erasers. That's what Zentangle has taught me. So my expense on my erasers have been very, very minimum, but on pencils and pen have been more. Right? So we got that. So I'm just going to compare, and I'm just going to keep a distance of this. So I'm just going to keep this as my measurement, and I'm just going to draw a line. I'm just going to draw the box. So we're doing instead of doing 4 dots and a corner dots and 4 corner dots, and I'm just gone straightly drawing the border. So you can put the dots and you can continue it. Right, so here we have our 2 tiles. Now we have the 3rd tile. So next session when we do it, we will get the 4th tile. Right, so let's go. So we will do these 2 pattern, which is the pattern the first pattern I taught you. We will do that pattern first, which is called the remo. Right, so we will do the pattern remo. So now I'm going to use my pen, and the same trick what I taught on the grid, that you start from the corner, the same trick works here also, because I'm just going to show you. So if because this is going to be rough, I'm just going to show you here. So I have the space. Okay, now I'm starting from here, and I assume this is my end, and it may not work out. Right, so what I'm going to do is, it's here, I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to draw my up and down stroke of my, right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to again turn, and I'm going to do it. Right, I'm going to do the same thing out here. I'm going to again start from the center, because that helps you, because when you start from the end, here you'll have to do an adjustment. So here you don't need to, because the corner, if they are not uniform, that's fine, but at the center, let it look nice. Right, so we're going to use, so this is what I have done. I'm just going to hold for a minute so that my autofocus of my camera mobile works and you're able to see it. So it will be a very light. Right, can you see that right now? Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the rice pearl. Now this rice pearl is going to be thin. And we always end up rotating your tiles, which makes it more the best, easier way. It's only the tile moves, not your hand. So your hand is in a relaxed position, so that's not right. So I'm going to do again the rice pearl out here. Right, here we go. Now let's finish this and then we'll come back. Now we're going to do the sun peeping out. Why did you come so early? My class has just started. That's my pet, Puggy Boy. He's coming today, I don't know why, to give us his attendance. Yes, thank you. You're on live on Instagram now. Thank you. Go. So people who have a pet will understand. If you don't give them the attention at that particular moment, my Instagram will go for a slot. There will be a stampede out here. So, not sure today why he wanted attention. He came, climbed over me while I was doing you guys, showing you the, right? So here it's going to be, it's going to show so we're just going to draw now the lines out here. Right, just lines, and it's so meditative to draw these lines one stroke by stroke, and as you breathe it's very calming and relaxing. You see that? Anjali, I was just telling that I have an autofocus problem with my camera, so it will blur for a few minutes and then it will become proper. So if anyone has a solution for it, can help me out. So it blurs for a few minutes and then it becomes proper. So just the lines out here and the rice pearl and the inked out this place with an aura out here. That's what we've done. So that's what we're going to just repeat it all along. So just and if you want your pens at the end to be a little thicker, it's fine, or you want the pen strokes to be lighter, you can do it. Alright, so we're just going to turn this and then we're just going to repeat it. I think I need to really find solution to my autofocus of my phone because it's really kind of You can draw closer lines, or you want to draw a little further lines, that's fine. Right, and I'm going to go here. You've done on one side. Right, so it's going to do this side again. So it's going to be now right. So now we're just going to ink the space. Just going to draw these lines now. I'm not going to ink it with reason, to show something, show a comparison. So I'm just not inking right now. Just leaving these inking to the end. I feel comfortable drawing the line at the center and then going on either side, so there's no norm that it needs to be done that way. You can do the way you are comfortable with it. You can draw a curvy line also, or the kind of a wavy line also. That's also is fine with it, because that's your creativity. Right, and this is going to be my last part of it. Right, so now you see that I've inked this one and I've not inked it here. They look dull, right? So that's what your inking helps a lot. So if you see this, I've inked on all these junction points, that arch part. Here I have not done it. So if you look at it comparatively, this looks more brighter and nice. That's why we say, when you want to create more drama to your work, just ink it up. It'll look more bright. I'm just going to use a broader pen of mine, and because that's a little quick to ink it up. So I'm just using a 08 pen number, not the nib size. a broader pen nib. Okay, see that? The difference which happened out here. Right? So we did a two part out here, right? So we've drawn this part and we've drawn this part. So when we're going to link it to our earlier work, we're going to get a linked up image, puzzled up image. So we'll get that done, right? So now we'll go to the center one. I'm just going to darkening my outer border. Right, and I'm just going to draw a grid which is in slanting, not in straight. I'm taking a random measurement, so we've been doing it so we kind of comfortable. If not, you can just put your dots on either side and you can take a measurement of this or something. You can keep it as a reference and you can do it. And if you're not getting uniform grid, that also is fine. What I'm going to do is right at the center I'm going to draw a line which is my grid, dividing it so I can get a right, and I'm just going to go. Now this grid, if you don't want it to do it straight and you want to do it little curved one, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. Right, this is going to take time, so we will take a little time to do it. Now that right, so we will start our, we're just going to start from this so that we have a reference. I'm using the 08 itself. But just remember to draw a fatter rice pearl. Right? Not, it's fine if there's some are thin and fat, and that's fine. It's good. It's okay because that's what a Zentangle is. So I'm just looking at what would be my angle out here because this is behind, right? So I'm just looking at it, this going up and this is going to be down. So So it's going to be only that part going to come in here, and here I don't think so. Here we will have to, because this goes up, this goes up and this comes, so here we will not have, we will again have the inking P to be done here. Right, even if your grids are going to be not uniform, don't worry about it, because when you do the end work, they're not going to show. That's the beauty of Zentangle is. Right, see, we quickly finished. One more thing is that when you do it at a quick speed, which I've always told you, the more time you take to do it, your work is more nice. So I'm just taking a little time out here. It just goes up here. One place you get the, when you drawing like these, where you have something which is below and then you're going to draw, so one particular place you just come and get the direction, that will help you out. Can you see that? Just going to wait for a minute for it to settle out and autofocus goes in and I can get to see it. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to mark where we're going to start now. So if I'm going to use this as going to be my ink, so I'm just going to put dots. So this is going to be my plane, so this is going to be my ink. So I'm just putting this so that I don't have a opportunity happening out here in my work. So I'm just putting those dots. Dots are indication for me to ink it up. Right, so I'm just going to do this section. So if you don't want to ink, and if you feel like it is too much of inking, leave it. Just do, okay, I'll just demonstrate what you can do in place of it, because I will anyway with my pen I will get to erase it off, or ink it over it. So I'll just demonstrate it in another place. What you could do instead of inking, assume this is the place which you need to ink, right? You can just draw a small triangle and just ink it up. If you feel it is too much of inking, you can just do that also. But I love this work with more of ink. I tried this, but I felt this was much better. So, and that's what her pattern also was shown when she had done the step out. So So this is more pretty. When you ink it up, your work, always when you have space to do it, just ink the border and then you can ink the center part. So you get a border, draw the border and just draw the border, ink the border part of it, and then come back in the center and ink it up. Right? This is going to be a little for people who feel more inking is not. Then you could do what I showed it across. But I loved inking because black is a beauty, I think. And it's not only black, I felt any other color because I've done it in Renaissance paper with a brown pen. So I can just show it to you. Just see this. Right? So they look nice. And these kind of a patterns is that it brings in a lot of focus, because you don't want a mistake or opportunity coming in, so you end up focusing a lot. And when you're focused, you're becoming mindful. And we'll do the shading right in the end. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to ink this particular place. Just give a border to this. Just inking it up dark. Just giving more depth by inking this up. Right? Can you see that nice when you inked it up, and you can see the difference out here to this. Hi Trini Carey. Right? Can you see how the inking can make a difference to your work? So I'm just going to continue doing it here. Right? And you will find me less talking today because I am kind of getting focused out here. So you might find me quiet sometime. And if you find somewhere you have missed and you've done it, you've not put those dots, it's okay. They'll stand out. Or if you can repeat that same thing to another row or a thing, so it'll look at as if it's a pattern. So nothing to worry. So now I'm going to go this particular part. I haven't put the dots, so I'm just going to go ahead and put those dots for me to know. Right? So right, so these dots helps you to kind of guide you kind. Maya has the habit of saying keep your finger, use your finger to guide. And Maya is a person who had created this wonderful art, Maya and rectangle. So I end up saying Maya. So if people are, I'm sure people are all who are being Zentangle, doing Zentangle artwork would be aware of it. So people have been tangling for long. And so gratitude to this world, because I wouldn't have met two people last week. North Carolina, they both of them were, and we did a session, and she found me, and she came in, and then we had a lovely session last. And I had to do it because since it's the US, I did a different shift, so we were connected. Being so far off, we've been connected, and Zentangle made me get friends, students. You can do another one. Now that we're doing it, you can reverse it, ink the inner one, ink the outer, leave it out. You can do the other way around out here, and you can bring in a contrast that way also. So what we did here, you can do a reverse on these two squares and show more a different way of it also. I'm just going to continue on it. Maybe I will do it on my swatch card, which is my pattern card. I may end up doing in that to show the possibility of what you can do, right? So you're using this grid, so remember that because your grids are this way, so just remember. Right. Right, so this is going to be my grid. Right, so let's go and ink this up, and then we will take another this is going to be this so this is going to be inked up, so I'll have to just see. So this was white, so this has to be inked. So this is going to be my white. So right, so the square I've left it, so this one will be inked up again. Here I'm not putting the dots for my indication because it's smaller number, so I'm just going ahead and doing it. Right, this is going to be my white. You can use any other tips also to remember, so you can keep it like alternate one. What helps you in doing it, you can continue to do it. Right, so this is going to be here, so I'm going to ink it up here. We are good. Excuse me. Right, I just went back and put this little small place, and I'm going to come back here and just darkening up the grid. Right, so I'm just going to catch on to this is going to be my black. So this is going to be my black, so this has to be my even if you go, it's okay, it will not look out because this is there to help you on the guide you, so don't worry too much. Because this is going to act as a binder for you, so it is not going to be shown. So we are done. We will be doing the shading another 2 minutes and we will be done with the work. So shading will take 5 minutes, which helps you create the magic to your work. Right, so we're done. Hi Evelyn. Hola. So we are done with it. Right, so we can check our the last 2 weeks tile and this week tile which is not shaded. Let's keep the unshaded one right at the center, and just move my camera position so that you can see it. So we have the unshaded right at the center, you have the shaded on the corner. So now when we shade this, you will get to see the difference. Right, so I'm just going to keep move these away, and I'm just going to do shading, and I'm just going to shade the corner one. I kept it this way. Now, sorry, I kept it this way. You can do this so that you will get that other look. So this is a puzzle, so you can move it in any direction, whatever it is. And just to add it, I hadn't realized that I had started this live session when the Certified Zentangle teachers from Spain were doing it, and Alicia from Spain was the first person to start and these sessions from there, and she has done in one of our sessions this, but she's used a different patterns and everything. So she was the one who kind of push me on, saying that yes, we can do something out here, to the people out here, for being mindful for this 1 hour. So gratitude to her for starting that session that time, right? So her page is called Mind Tangle. So let's go shade it up here. And in the last class I said, when you have your camera focused and these graphites kind of give a shine, and if you notice, I have not inked the border of this, so I'm just going to go ink it up. Just give an outline to this, and I've given it there, so I'm not given it here, so I just gave that, right? And I'm just going to use my stub, and I'm just going to pull the graphite. Right, so look, it's flat here, and it is just the corner graphite makes the difference. Right, you can more ink it up by giving it a little on here, giving more depth. You want to give it, pull it up. Right, so we've done with this. Now I'm not going to do the aura because it will take more time for me to do the aura part, so I will do it post the class. So I'm just going to do the shading out here. What I'm going to do is nothing much. I'm just going to go line by below the grid. I'm just going to pull the graphite. I'm just going to pull it below each of those grid lines. Right, and I'm just going to go across this way. I'm going to do this. So I'm just went on all sides. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on the corner, and I've not done my border, so I'm just going to go ink it up my border. I left it for the end. And if you see here, it will come here, so I'm just going to ink this particular space which I just noticed. So just going to use my graphite, just going to go all around on the edges. I'm just going to use my stub and just going to doing rotation movement. The shading is not what I say you need to do it. You can what you feel. Just at Zentangle we don't follow the typical shading methodology. So where you want to give a lift or you want to give a emphasis, you can go ahead and shade it. We don't follow in Zentangle. Not that if you follow it won't be good, it will be good. Not that if you don't follow also it would be good. So just enjoy and just enjoy the process. Right? If you want to give more, because that was a tan paper, so I had used charcoal, white charcoal. And if you're using color, you can just give these tips of these places the rice pearl, give it a little more. Just leaving the center part. You see that? So you can do with what graphite you have on your stubs, you can just go ahead and use that also is enough, because that slight one is also is good enough. You're not going to do heavy work. Yeah, here we go. And the most one is that own it up, putting your signature. So go back again, you want to admire it, you can keep it in whichever way. And when we do our next class, the last one, we're going to do it here and we're going to get that. Right? Now we have, I think what we have done last in tan, I have continued on to doing this on the tan. So let's look how does the tan gel to this. I hope I get to see the full thing on the frame. I don't think I can show it across on the full frame. I'm not sure if you're able to see it. Let me see if I can just show you a little and move around here. So I would be getting a 8 tile end of the session. Hola, Pilar Fernandez. Right, so I get an 8 tile puzzle tile end of the session of this month. So if people have continued, you will get a 4. If you've just done 1, good. So if you liked it, do leave a comment on my Insta's IGTV, which I'm going to save it, and leave a comment if you can. Share it with your friends, that's most important, and your dear ones, getting them also to join the sessions. Don't feel shy to create. If you're creating it and not sharing it, please do share it to me. I will keep it. And don't feel shy. What you create is important, and that's beautiful. So I hope you guys like this month's session. And I choose these kind of a simple patterns so that it helps everyone and enjoy the process. Thanks Jerry Sen Leon Jinto. Mongolf, thank you. Tangle Maze, thank you. And if you've done these auras out here, which is what it will turn out, so they look nice. So this is the one I had created in the same thing in a tan today's session, and created the same thing in the tan. And I just wanted to show you that I have not shaded out here, which is what I demonstrated it. See here, all these are shaded and these I've left it. This looks flat, but when you shade it, they look pretty. So don't feel shy on shading. Thank you, Ladybug. Buena Vista for all the people from the other side of the Spain, and thanks, Sandy. So people wonder what the small tile is going to be. So if you see it, you've created 3.5, 7.5, 10, and 10 and a 13.5 by 13.5. You've done a bigger piece, but you've done it in small, and you've created it. And you can go further by putting a small one, a photo or something. You stick at the back, and then all of them are aligned, and then you can keep a small photo, or you can do another tile on it and make it different. Ideas keeps coming in. So see you all. Thanks. See you for the next week Tuesday session, the final session for this month, and that completes my 1 year of Instagram live with you all. So thank you, gracious gratitude to all of you. So see you next time. Ciao. Do create and share it. Don't forget to create and share it, and spread it. Spread the happiness.